The following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain.
Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTEST.com, and today I'm on the Canyon 326 from Grady-White. Now, the design team at Grady-White told me that they made this boat to be a larger center console that's offshore capable, great for fishing, and family friendly as well. So with that versatility in mind, let's take a look as I do a full features inspection and performance evaluation.
We'll start in the cockpit that measures in at 8 feet by 3.5 feet for 28 square feet. Padded bolsters are all around and start at 7 inches and top out at 26 inches, the cockpit depth. There's undergunnel rod storage to starboard, and a padded mat at the bulwarks would be nice to protect the reels. There's a tow reel for support when fighting the fight. Fresh and raw water washdowns are also to the starboard side. To the port side is a welcome addition to the standard list, a hull side dive door. It opens easily with an ergonomic latch that pulls to release, then turns to unlatch. When opened, it fits into a slight recess in the aft bolster, and there's a strap to keep it open. The ladder stores just under the cockpit deck hatch. At the port quarter, there's a 32-gallon live well. The lid opens on a gas assist strut. In the center of the transom is a 318-quart insulated and lighted cooler. Notice another gas assist strut. It drains overboard, as does every rod holder, drink holder, live well, fish box, everything. Beverage holders are to both sides. When it's time to convert to family activities, there's a transom seat that's among the easiest to deploy that I've seen, and it stows away just as easily. Well done there. Just ahead is an optional 38-gallon live well replacing a standard cooler. Alongside is a sink with a cutting board, tool store behind the door. To the left is an optional refrigerated drawer replacing the standard 3 stainless steel drawers. Ahead are 4 rod holders, low and high, and this is just 8 of the boat's 24 total rod holders on board. Spreader lights are to the sides. Overhead, an optional sure shade awning provides protection from the sun. Around the starboard side is a dedicated recess for a fire extinguisher. To port is the trash receptacle. Just behind the cockpit is access to the swim platform with the same easy release latch that we saw at the dive door. A reboarding ladder is in line with the walkthrough, and a lengthy grab rail is just ahead. Courtesy lights are underneath both platforms. A freshwater shower is at the walkthrough. In the center of the transom is an optional pull-up ski tow pylon. Standard would be yet another rod holder. To the sides of the leaning post, there's 17 inches of space, 21 at the back of the console, 20 inches at the front. More speakers are to the sides of the console and the bulwarks just ahead. The head is accessed from a door to the starboard side, and it's no afterthought, let's drop in a porta-potty arrangement. We step in via a 12-inch and 15-inch step down. Inside, we measured no less than 6 feet 2 inches of headroom, leaving 4 feet 8 inches of sitting headroom. There's a mirror on the aft bulkhead with lights to both sides. The 12-volt mains are right alongside. There's a Corian counter with notches for rods that drop into holders below. There's a single basin stainless steel sink recessed into the counter, and a pull-out sprayer allows you to rinse off those rods. Product stores just alongside and below. Decking is cherry and holly. A teak seat is just over the vacuum-flush porcelain toilet. Tackle storage is at the forward bulkhead next to another compartment with a garage door style hatch. The pedestal for the bow table also stores here. Above, a towel bar is secure enough to use as a grab rail, and hanger hooks are to the sides, making this an ideal place to store wet gear. More lighting is above. Side windows add natural light. As we continue to the bow, the padded bolsters continue, and there's a full-length grab rail just inside the non-skid cap rail. And it's here where we see the real comfort on this boat. We start with a 45-inch wide seat just ahead of the console with a high seat back. Grab rails are to the sides with integrated beverage holders. Ahead are 2 loungers, 56 inches long, that really show off the comfort. The bolster creates a comfortable armrest. Seat backs can swivel out of the way instead of being removable and needing storage. Both sides have storage underneath that also serve as 180-quart insulated fish boxes. Hatches are gasketed, gutters channel water overboard, and of course there are support struts under the hatches. Because the boat's wide 10-foot 9-inch beam is carried so far forward, the seats are nice and wide at 33 inches, tapering to 18 inches forward. And there's still room for 21 inches in the footwell. Depth increases to 37 inches. There's a pedestal table that can occupy the footwell space, and with the table lowered, we can add a center cushion to create a sun pad. With all cushions removed, a casting deck measuring 7 feet 4 inches max width by 5 feet is created, and it's treated with non-skid right from the mold. aft-facing speakers are to the sides of the front seat. Moving to the operational features, powering our test boat is a pair of 300 horsepower Yamaha 4-strokes. She can take up to twin 350s, so this will be a fair test of how she handles with standard power. Freshwater flush quick connects are at the walkthrough from the cockpit. The battery switches are just inside the entry to the cockpit, right where they belong. She's fitted with 8-inch pull-up cleats, 3 to each side. If we lift the transom seat up and out of the way, we get access to the deck hatch over the mechanical compartment. Inside are the engine start and house batteries, the charging system, the dual transducers. There are through-hull pickups, and notice the remote seacock arms connected to the ball valves. We access the ground tackle by lifting the forward seat, putting the working gear accessible from standing level. There's a hatch that opens on a turn and lock latch, and still another support strut is here. There's an 8-inch cleat for securing the rode and taking the standing load off the windlass. And the rode runs through a through-the-stem roller. Control switches are just to starboard. Rode access is in a hatch just below. And notice the additional connectors for the fresh and raw water washdowns. At the helm console, there's a compass in line with the center-mounted helm just below a soft-touch non-glare dash. Switch panels are to both sides, and yes, the horn stands out in red. Below are twin 17-inch displays with the VHF over to the right. Moving down, we have the Yamaha engine display, the optional Helm master joystick, the engine control binnacle, trim tabs, and engine start-stops. A storage cubby with connectivity is to the left. Beverage holders are just below. Then the bow thruster joystick. There's a Fusion Apollo Series stereo with a boatload of features added. And notice the rubber grips to the front and back of the wheel along with the steering knob, and it's mounted to a tilt base. The steering is hydraulic with power assist. Beverage holders, USB charging ports, and stainless grab handles are to the sides of the console, and the hardtop supports also have integrated handholds. Above is an e-box, and even this hatch has a support strut. There's life jacket storage, speakers, and overhead tricolor lighting. Optional outriggers are to the side. Another spreader light is forward. Notice how the hardtop supports are integrated into the console rather than taking up valuable side deck space. The pantograph windshield wiper with washer spray is standard, and the full-height tempered glass windshield integrates nicely with just a hint of distortion to the curved sides. The helm seating is 3 across. Each adjustable seat has flip armrests, bolsters, and footrests. Drawer storage is behind the footrests. A molded footrest is at the bottom of the console. Now let's head out and look at the numbers. The Grady-White Canyon 326 has a length overall of 33 feet 1 inch, a beam of 10 feet 9 inches, and a draft of 24 inches. With an empty weight of 8,500 pounds, 64% fuel, 2 people, optional accessories, and test power on board, we had an estimated test weight of 11,716 pounds. With a pair of 300 horsepower Yamaha 4-strokes turning 17-pitch propellers and wound up to 6,000 RPM, our speed topped out at 49 miles per hour. Best economic cruise came in at 3,500 RPM and 25.3 miles per hour. At that speed, the 16.5 gallon per hour fuel burn translated into 1.5 miles per gallon and a range of 452 miles, all while still holding back a 10% reserve of the boat's 327 gallon total fuel capacity. For trolling speeds, she runs at 6 miles per hour at 1,000 RPM, burning 1.2 gallons per hour, and at 1,500 she'll do 8.5 miles per hour with a 4.2 gallon per hour fuel burn. In acceleration tests, we had a time to plane of 3.2 seconds with a 10-degree bow rise, accelerated to 20 miles per hour in 4.8 seconds, and 30 came and went in 7.1. With her dead rise of 20 degrees and the CV2 hull, she cuts a stately profile underway. She has a natural 5-degree bow high running attitude, and I never needed trim tabs. With a flat-com test day, we were left crossing wakes to show a clean penetration with no slap. The spray was kept wide and low, so we took none on board. She feels like a much heavier boat, with the hull giving such a solid ride. She responds well to the helm, remaining planted to the water in turns with no adverse slide. Held over, there's zero chine walk. Back at the dock, we got a chance to put the Helm Master joystick to work. I found excellent controllability, even though the boat was rushed to get to us for the test and the programming wasn't quite dialed in on the stick yet. Still, a gentle touch provided precise handling, and I just laid her up alongside, nice and neat.
Well, with design ingenuity, spaciousness, a well-appointed layout all coming together, With the functionality and handling that we've come to expect from the brand, it appears that the Canyon 326 is definitely a great boat for moving up from a smaller center console or even down from a larger fishing machine. And that's my full features inspection and performance evaluation of the Canyon 326 from Grady-White. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.